Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to PPS Theory Sessions. Just in the last week, we have completed the entire syllabus of PPS subject given by the university. And as we discussed in our last lecture, that we will go through few doubt-solving sessions here. But before we go to that, let us very quickly revise the last session that we have covered on file handling. And as I promised, I'll show you the 60th program from your practical list also. Okay, so that's what we are gonna do today, and after that we will go for any kind of doubt solving here related to subject. Fine. So very quickly we revise our last unit, which was file handling, and inside that we have seen number of IO operations for file. The first thing first, we started with how to open a file, read a file, write a file, and close it. So you need to have fopen function to open your file, which requires two parameters. The first one is going to be the file relative path to your file. Okay. At present, we have we have our code as well as the text file that we are going to open in the same folder. So no need to define any path at this place. If you have a different folder given, then you may go for, let's say, abc / and then so on, particular format for, or the relative path you have to go for here. So we have a file, and then the second parameter is going to be the mode in which you are going to open your file, whether it is read mode, write mode, append mode. So R, W, A. Now read will only allow you to read that file. You will not be allowed to write something in that file. It will generate an error. Write mode will only allow you to write your file. It won't allow you to read it. Otherwise it will generate an error. Append mode will only allow you to append some data at the end of your file. Okay, and so on. There might be some cases where you require reading, writing, both operations. And in that case, what you do is you maybe go for R plus, W plus, or A plus. Read plus, write plus, append plus mode. So it will allow you to read and write both. Now then question comes, what is the difference between R plus and W plus? Both allows us to read and write. So what is the difference between that? Well, R plus will allow you to read and write both, but it will not generate a new file if existing file is not present. Whereas W plus is going to generate a new file if given file is not existing. Okay, and A plus is just append plus, so it is going to append everything, whereas W is going to overwrite existing data. So those were the different modes we have seen, and then we have seen a number of operation functions actually to read and write file data. We started with get C, put C, get W, put W, and then we have seen F scanf, F printf, right? And to close your file, you have fclose function where you just pass your file pointer. Now remember, this is going to be the file pointer. So FILE capital is actually defined structure inside a C language, and we are going to have a pointer variable to that, because when we open a file, that file is going to be loaded in the memory, and the memory address is going to be returned. So we need to have a pointer variable at this place. So that's how we open, read or write and close a file. Later we had gone for a somewhat complex example here, where we have gone for a structure of student which is having roll number, first name, last name, marks, kind of a complicated data here. We refer it using a student structure. And then what we have seen here was we've asked user how many students do you have, and we store that data in a file, and with a different function we also read that entire data and print it in a tabular format, right? And in this example we have seen fscanf and fprintf example. So when user is giving you the data, you use fprintf function to write everything inside the file. And whenever you want to read your file, you use fscanf function to read your data in this format and store that data in the given variables so that you can operate with that data later on. Okay, so that's the file, that's the example we have covered in the previous lecture. Now, as I promised, let's go for the 60th program also. Now what it says a file named data. Okay, there must be one file called data which contains series of integer numbers. Okay, so let's do one thing. Let us create one file here first, and let's call it data.txt. So I've created one file here, data.txt, as it is being asked here, and it says it contains series of integer numbers. Okay, so let me have few integer numbers here. Let's say 12. Then I'm defining that series and separating all the numbers with space right now. We'll see how we can have comma and all later. So 12 space 3 space 45 space 12 space 33 space 75 space 24, let's say, and let me save this file. So these are the numbers I have written in the file data.txt. Okay, and now let's move further and see what it is asking. A file named data contains series of integer numbers. We have it. Then it says write a program to read all numbers from the file, from the given file. Okay, now let's go and open that file in a read mode, read all the data and print it on the output screen just now. Okay, so for that, what we can do, just like this one, we can have one file pointer. Okay, so I'm going to have one file pointer here, and at the same time I'm going to call fopen function, where I'm going to pass in, let's say, data.txt is my file, and in a read mode I'm going to open that file. Very simple. Okay, so we open that file. Don't forget to close that file at the end, so we'll go for fclose fp, and that's going to be fp1 actually, right? So we open that file, we close that file, but in between what we are going to do here is we are going to read that entire file, just like this one, while. Okay, so this is how we read that file. We are going to read that file fp1, right? But at this point of time we are not going to read that file character by character, because we know that inside that file we have numbers. So instead of get C, what we will do is we'll go for fscanf. Okay, fscanf function. Now that is not going to return anything, but it has a different structure. It requires 3 parameters. First one is going to be your file pointer. Second one is going to be your control string, so %d and 1 space. So I'm going to read one number along with the space, but I'm not going to store that space anywhere. For just %d, I'll say store that %d inside this number variable &num. Okay, like this way. So let us have integer variable num also, and then what we do is we simply print that number on the output screen right now. printf, let's say %d/n, I'm going to print all the numbers in new line num. Okay, so that's how we read that file number by number, and we skip or we omit this space which is coming from the file. We only store the data in number variable and we print that number on the output screen. So this is my code just to read this file, and I'm going to have all these numbers on the output screen. Every number will be printed in a new line. Okay, so let's run this code and see once what is happening there. So I run that code and I have all the numbers in a new line here on the output screen. Okay, so very basic part we have completed here. We have gone for a file read operation. We bring all that data and we print it. Okay, fine. Now Yusuf is asking, I have a confusion that read means using printf scanf. Well, I'm not clear about your query, Yusuf. Will you elaborate more? I have a confusion that read means using, well, okay, read means, look, if you want to read your file, then what exactly you want something from the file. Now when do you use scanf? When you want something from user. अगर यूजर के पास से कुछ चाहिए तो आप scanf यूज करते हो. अगर फाइल में से आपको कुछ चाहिए तो आप fscanf यूज करोगे. Simple. Means you are confused between when to use printf scanf and fprintf fscanf, right? Yeah. Look, in terms of file, अगर आप फाइल के अंदर कुछ डालते हो that's going to be input. अगर फाइल में से कुछ लेते हो then it's gonna be output. Okay, from the perspective of file, in terms of file, फाइल के अंदर कुछ डाला then it is going to be input. फाइल में से कुछ निकाला then it's going to be output. Now when you change your perspective, अगर फाइल के साइड से आप प्रोग्राम साइड आ जाओ तो फाइल में से जब कुछ लोगे तो आपके प्रोग्राम के लिए वो इनपुट हो जाएगा, और प्रोग्राम में से जब कुछ कैलकुलेट करके फाइल के अंदर डाला तो वो प्रोग्राम का आउटपुट हो जाएगा. थिंक लाइक दिस वे. ओके, सो जब फाइल में से कुछ लेते हो, फाइल का आउटपुट है लेकिन वो प्रोग्राम के लिए इनपुट है, तो आप फाइल में से कुछ लेने के लिए scanf यूज करोगे क्योंकि प्रोग्राम को वो डेटा एज अ इनपुट चाहिए. fscanf, फाइल में से स्कैन करके लेके आओ. And when your program is going to write something within the file, it's going to be output for your program, input for your file. So अगर प्रोग्राम कुछ आउटपुट में डालता है तो printf फंक्शन आएगा, और अगर वो फाइल में डालता है तो fprintf फंक्शन आएगा. ओके, आई होप यू आर क्लियर नाउ. Okay, fine. So now let's go further and see what other statements we have. So write a C program to read all numbers from the file. So we have read all the numbers and we printed it on the output screen. But what this program definition says, numbers from the file, and then write all odd numbers into file named odd and write all even numbers into the file named even. So अब हमें दो फाइल क्रिएट करनी होगी, odd and even, and we are going to write these numbers based on whether it is odd or even. Correct? So let's do that thing now. I'm going to open two more files, fp odd and fp even. So fpo, fpe, o for odd, e for even, and let's have that file name as odd.txt and even.txt. But at this time we are going to open that file in a write mode. Okay, instead of read mode, we will open it in a write mode. Okay, so now what we are gonna do here is, once we have that number inside this while loop, well, before we forget, let's close both the files. So fp odd and fp even. Okay, so now in this while loop, what I'm going to do is, I have that number and I'm just going to check whether that number is odd or even. So just modulo 2 equals to 0 or not. Number modulo 2 is 0 or not. If it is 0, then it is going to be the even number, and we are going to write it inside fpe file pointer. So we are going to write it. So here it's gonna be fprintf, where the first parameter is going to be the file pointer fpe. How am I going to write it? So %d space, and what am I going to write? Number. Simple. Now just like this, if number modulo 2 is not equals to 0, then we will have the else part, and inside this else part we will simply copy and paste this fprintf function. Simply we are going to write that number in odd file, and done. So based on the number, whether it is odd or even, we are going to write that number inside a particular file, odd file or even file. Now we do not have those files here already, but W mode is going to create it. So once I run this code, I'm going to have those two files separately here. Okay, so let us save this code and run this code once. So second time I run this code. Earlier we were simply printing. This time we are printing those numbers, as well as we are printing those numbers in some file. So we have those files now. Let us see where we have those files. So here is the odd.txt, and inside this you have only odd numbers, 3, 45, 33, 75, only odd numbers. And if you go to even.txt, then here you will see all the even numbers, 12, 12, 24, right? Now let us check, क्या सही में हमने 12 दो बार डाला था? So let me have, yeah, data.txt. Yes, inside my data, number 12 was 2 times. So that's the reason in even.txt we have 12 2 times. Okay, so very simple. Now odd.txt file contains only odd numbers, even numbers. Even.txt file only contains even numbers. Odd.txt file only contains odd numbers. And that's the requirement of practical 6060. It says read all the numbers and write those numbers in a particular file based on whether it is odd or even. Now at the end it says display all the content of these file on the screen. So now what we want is, we do not want to print this number. When we scan it, we don't want to print it. Let me remove this thing. Let me comment this printf statement. Let's say, let's comment it out. Okay, so I'm not going to print it when I scan that number from the data.txt file. So what I want is, once I'm going to write that data in a file, and then I'm going to read it. Now if you remember, we have seen rewind. Okay, rewind function. Let me show you when do we need to use rewind and why, and so on. So let's say this is what the code we have written at this place right now. So we open data.txt in read mode. We open odd and even file in a write mode. then we read our data.txt, get a number, write that number in odd or even file. Once we are done with that, what we are going to do is again we are going to read these two files one by one. So let's say first of all I'm going to print all the odd numbers. Okay, so this is where I'm going to print the odd numbers, ODD colon space, and then I want to have all the odd numbers printed here. And similarly at this place we are going to print even numbers. So how do we read those files? Well, we have read it already, so I'm going to copy and paste it here. But what we need is at this place I'm going to print that data, no other conditions, and I'm going to print odd numbers. So the file that I'm going to scan is FPO, right? So scan your odd file, have a number, and print that number on the output screen. Simply printf, and instead of /n, let us have space. Just like this way, at this place I'm going to read even file FPE and save it. So any doubt in this much code, what I have done very quickly here? Is there any doubt in this code? It is simply printing the file content. ऑड इवन अलग करके फाइल में डाल दिया, फाइल में डाल देने के बाद फिर से हम उसी फाइल को रीड कर रहे हैं. ओड फाइल को रीड करो, इवन फाइल को रीड करो, वन बाय वन print that data. Now can anyone say what will happen if I run this code right now? अगर मैं इसको डायरेक्टली रन करता हूं, then what do you think? क्या होना चाहिए? Well, Hussein is saying it means it will split file in two phase. Well, it is already splitting those numbers in odd and even. वो हमने already check कर लिया. Data file में से odd numbers को odd.txt में डाला, even numbers को even.txt में डाला. And this is the code. ये पहला वाला while loop जो है, it was doing that task. वो तो हो ही रहा है. ये एक्स्ट्रा कोड मैंने जो लिखा है इसकी वजह से क्या होगा? व्हाट डू यू थिंक? विल इट बी वर्किंग प्रॉपर्ली और विल बी हैविंग सम एरर्स और इट विल प्रिंट नथिंग? क्या होगा? It will print nothing. Okay, Nanda is saying it will print nothing. How about others? Working properly, Manav is saying. Let me run this code now. And this is the output. So what do you think? What happened here? Yeah, first of all, what we have done here is we have opened these two files, odd.txt, even.txt. ये दोनों को हमने W मोड में ओपन किया और हम उसको रीड करने जा रहे हैं. So just to be at a safer side, I'm going to now have W plus, so I can do both the operation, read and write, both, okay? So that's one thing, but still it's not gonna work. See, no output there. So there is one more problem. What do you think? What is the problem there? Will not have printf because दोनों फाइल के अंदर कुछ लिखना है तो printf, वहां से कुछ लेना है तो scanf. So functions, use of these functions are proper, I'll say. Ampersand sign is no problem there because printf will never require ampersand sign, only scanf will require ampersand sign. So we have it properly. Look, don't forget all these file operations, read and write operations, are going to update your file pointer. Okay, whenever you use these file IO operations, whether it is get C put C, get W put W, F scanf, F printf, any operation, when you use it, okay, it is going to update your file pointer. So earlier when we open that file pointer is at a starting point, शुरुआत में रहेगा. Now when I read that file or write that file pointer is going to be updated. So जैसे ही मेरा ये while loop खत्म होगा, तीनों pointers जो है वो कहाँ पे point करेंगे? फाइल के एंड में. तीनों फाइल के एंड में ये pointers पड़े होंगे. Now, once your file pointer is at the end, it is already on end of file EOF. अगर वो पहले से ही EOF पे पहुंच गया है, so can you read anything there? No. We cannot read anything once our pointer is already pointing to end of file. So जैसे ही मैं ये printf यूज करता हूँ odd और even फाइल पे, तो वो नंबर तो राइट कर रहा है. You can verify that number by opening these files. So if I go to even.txt, I have those numbers. If I go to odd.txt, I have those numbers also. मेरे पास सारे numbers फाइल के अंदर अच्छे से पड़े हैं. I don't have any problem there. But the problem is when I read this file is already at the end of file pointer. And that's why ये वाला लूप एक भी बार चला नहीं. इट इज ऑलरेडी एट एंड ऑफ फाइल. सो ये लूप चलेगा ही नहीं तो कुछ प्रिंट ही नहीं होगा, राइट? सो व्हाट वी डू हियर इज इफ वी वांट टू रीड दैट फाइल अगेन, वी गो फॉर रिवाइंड. ओके, वी गो फॉर रिवाइंड ऑपरेशन. आई एम गोइंग टू रिवाइंड माय फाइल पॉइंटर फॉर odd, as well as I'm going to rewind my file pointer for even. So once I'm done with one operation, I'm going to rewind it. Now when I rewind, वो दोनों pointer वापस से starting point पे आ जाएंगे, and then I can read those data again if I want. So let's save and check it out. Okay, so we have those numbers now. Just what we needed was to rewind our pointer. That's it. So now when I rewind it, ये दोनों pointer फिर से starting point पे आ जाएंगे, और starting point से अगर मैं फिर उसी फाइल को read करूंगा, then I'm going to have those numbers and I can print those numbers. कहाँ तक चलेगा ये loop? वापस आप एंड ऑफ फाइल तक नहीं पहुंचते हो तब तक ये चलता रहेगा. एंड वी प्रिंट ऑल दोज नंबर्स. नाउ वी आर प्रिंटिंग ऑड एंड इवन फाइल. हम डेटा फाइल को नहीं प्रिंट कर रहे हैं. यू कैन क्लोज योर डेटा फाइल बिफोर यू रिवाइंड दीज टू ऑल्सो. इट्स ओके. ओके, आपकी डेटा फाइल का काम खत्म हो गया है यहाँ पे. जैसे ही आपने वो रीड कर ली पूरी फाइल, डेटा फाइल का काम खत्म. You can close that file at this place. But after that you wanted to read your odd and even file again, so you go for rewind operation, you read it and then you close it. So this will also work. Okay, so that's all about files, file pointer, few file IO related operations, rewind function. You can also see fseek and ftel. Okay, ftel function is going to give you the current position of the file in terms of bytes. fseek function is going to jump your file pointer wherever you want. You have to calculate those things and provide appropriate parameters. First parameter is file pointer, second parameter is offset, and third parameter is the reference from where you want to jump. Okay, so those are the functions that you can use with files. So that's all from my side, and I've also given the solution for 60th program from your practical list. So I end my all the content here, and now it's open platform for everyone. Let's discuss your problems. Let us solve your queries, whatever number of lectures we have. I have posted your second mid syllabus in the WhatsApp group today morning, so you can refer it. Those are the units which will be covered in your second mid-sem exam. MCQ questions. Okay, so now just a minute. Okay, Viraj is asking, sir, last unit में malloc and calocage अब से आव से. Okay, malloc calloc आव से. Yeah, file handling is not covered inside your second mid-sem exam. Okay, so up to dynamic memory allocation will be the syllabus. Last unit which we have completed just now, I'm not going to cover it in second mid. Okay, so just check out that PDF file. That's gonna be your second mid exam syllabus. Okay, Nirmal is asking, can you give an example of returning more than one value from a function using dynamic memory allocation? Well, we have seen that thing in the structure itself. Look, let me find out. Look, this is the thing. Okay, in the structure example, when we were looking at this exam, this program, what we do here, look, we simply call get book details function, right? We simply call this function get book details. We haven't passed anything as a parameter. Now when you go to that function get book details, inside that we have one variable. Now this variable is going to be the local variable, and we take multiple values and then we return that variable. Now at this point of time you can say that you are returning multiple values using a structure. एक एग्जांपल ये हो गया कि स्ट्रक्चर यूज करके आप मल्टीपल वैल्यूज को एज अ सिंगल एंटिटी रिटर्न कर सकते हो. सो हमने बुक स्ट्रक्चर को रिटर्न किया एंड वी रिसीव इट हियर इन B1. in B1. सो इन दैट केस हमें क्या करना था कि ये B1 जो है वो हमें ऑलरेडी एक बार डिक्लेयर करके रखना पड़ता है, right? Because we receive it here, we have to have memory allocated for B1 already. अब आप बोलोगे कि what if I am not sure कि भाई ये B1 जो है वो एक ही बुक स्टोर करेगा या एक से ज्यादा करेगा या what? Let's say later point of time you are going to ask user how many books do you have, और उतनी बुक्स का डेटा अगर आपको चाहिए. सो रन टाइम आपको क्या करना पड़ेगा, यू हैव टू अलोकेट द मेमोरी फॉर B1 रन टाइम. सो जब रन टाइम आप मेमोरी अलोकेट करोगे, आई थिंक वी हैव सीन दैट इन फाइल 2 मे बी. And yeah, even in file 2 we were writing everything in the file, so we were reusing the same structure variable. बट मान लो कि आप ये फाइल में राइट नहीं कर रहे हो तो पूरा का पूरा डेटा जो है वो आपको मेमोरी में रखना पड़ेगा. सो you will ask user how many students you have, and then before you read that data आपको उसके लिए डायनामिक मेमोरी अलोकेशन करना पड़ेगा. Now once you allocate the dynamic memory for that amount of memory, then आप क्या करोगे, you are going to pass that variable as a parameter, but that's gonna be called by reference. आप वहां पे उसका रेफरेंस पास कर दोगे ampersand B1 like this way. So dynamic memory allocation भी हो गया, और get book details की तरह मैंने फंक्शन कॉल किया जहां पे पैरामीटर पास करूंगा और वो पैरामीटर एक्चुअल में एड्रेस होगा. नाउ एड्रेस क्यों पास करेंगे, क्योंकि मैं फंक्शन के अंदर डेटा लूंगा लेकिन वो पूरा का पूरा डेटा मुझे ओरिजिनल मेमोरी में चाहिए. अब वहां से मैं रिटर्न तो नहीं कर पाता हूं, एक से ज्यादा वैल्यू रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट से रिटर्न नहीं होगी. अगर एक से ज्यादा बुक्स हैं तो मैं रिटर्न नहीं कर पाऊंगा. दैट्स व्हाई वी गो फॉर पॉइंटर हियर, and we inside this function we can take multiple books using for loop or whatever structure you define. Okay, yeah, any other query? That's one plus point of pointer, returning multiple values using pointer. जैसे and we have understood that thing with swap operation. एक फंक्शन में अगर आप दो वैल्यू को स्वैप करते हो तो दोनों वैल्यू को रिटर्न नहीं कर पाओगे. दैट्स द लिमिटेशन, एंड दैट्स व्हाई वी हैव गॉन फॉर पॉइंटर. पॉइंटर अगर है तो एक से ज्यादा वैल्यू में रिटर्न कर पाऊंगा, नॉट विथ रिटर्न स्टेटमेंट बट बाय जस्ट ऑपरेटिंग ऑन एक्चुअल डेटा. Right, so any more other queries? कंप्यूटर एंड आईटी स्टूडेंट्स के लिए जस्ट एक सजेशन फ्रॉम माय साइड, प्लीज डू मोर प्रैक्टिस ऑन एरे, स्ट्रक्चर एंड पॉइंटर. ये तीनों चीजें आपको चाहिए होगी अगले ही सेमेस्टर में डेटा स्ट्रक्चर सब्जेक्ट के अंदर. For your submissions, ask your lab faculties how they are going to consider your submission. Vivas will also be taken by the lab faculty, and I hope that everyone has received kind of Viva schedule. Very soon you will receive the meeting links for Viva also. Okay. Well, Viraj is asking, sir, all PPS lecture ने link मोकलो ने. Viraj, you can refer YouTube channel, and inside that channel we have a playlist created for PPS, right? So when you follow that playlist, it is gonna be all my lectures only, because I'm taking PPS subject commonly in all the divisions. Okay. So just go to our YouTube channel and find out PPS playlist from that. You will find multiple PPS playlists in that YouTube channel according to one playlist is for lectures, one playlist is for ED1 class lab sessions. Okay. And there might be other channels also for EA1 or EC1 class laboratory sessions, maybe. लेक्चर के लिए एक चैनल एक प्लेलिस्ट आपको मिल जाएगा. प्लेलिस्ट कैसे ढूंढोगे उसके लिए भी बता दूं. जस्ट गो टू योर स्टूडेंट लॉग इन, पिक एनी डेट ऑन विच वी हैव पीपीएस लेक्चर. आप वहां पे जाओगे तो रिकॉर्डेड लेक्चर की लिंक मिलेगी, लेक्चर की लिंक मिलेगी. जस्ट फ्रॉम दैट पेज व्यू दैट लेक्चर इन यूट्यूब. तो आप यूट्यूब में ट्रांसफर हो जाओगे और वहां से आपको चैनल मिलेगी और चैनल के अंदर प्लेलिस्ट भी मिल जाएगा. Now I want you to explore this thing, and that's why I'm saying you should do this. I can directly paste a playlist link here, but I don't want to. Yes, it will be definitely 58 के आसपास हो गए होंगे. Yeah, so any more queries now? Or else we can conclude this session. Okay, so let's conclude this session here. We do have one more lecture tomorrow, right? Tomorrow morning we do have one more lecture, and what I suggest is you bring some problems, questions related to PPS or something, so that we can interact for 1 hour here in the lecture session. अगर आपके पास से कुछ नहीं निकलेगा, then I'm going to ask you the question. Okay, so let's hope for the best tomorrow. We have a last lecture tomorrow. After that we don't have any more lectures, right? So कल के लेक्चर में हम कुछ और डाउट सॉल्व करेंगे. अगर आपके पास कोई डाउट नहीं है तो मैं डाउट जनरेट करूंगा, and we'll go for 1 hour session tomorrow. Thank you everyone. See you in the next lecture. Bye bye.